they can hear us. Now they can see us. Now they can see and hear us.
Welcome to the GenXcynics cast, y'all. I am your host, Kalari GXC, along with... Wow. Y'all. He'll introduce himself at any point at this time.
I'm just waiting to see how long she'll let me sit here like this.
I'll go back to watch an anime, for real.
Maxium Wolf. Boy, you're strict.
You knew you were getting in with the Sun and Dare when you started.
Sure. I keep hearing that, but I don't believe that was on the warning label.
Yeah, it was totally on the warning label.
I don't think it was on the warning label.
You fell in love with my drow. She was the one that was the worst of my personality.
Oh, sure. Bring that up now.
Hey, we got a lot to talk about today about gaming and geekery. I'm in better
gamery, gamer geekery,
all that good stuff.
All things that start with G and ends with Uri.
I'm in a better mood today. I took a mental rest, which, like we said last week, is very important. When you're not feeling things, it's better to rest up instead of trying to push through. It just comes through on your stream. So I took a nice break.
Yeah, it's always good to take if you're not feeling like, hey, I want to do this, but I'm just not in the mood to do it, just take a day for yourself. Take a day, relax, rest, do something that you enjoy. And even if like you're like a game streamer, if you're a game streamer and you don't want to stream but you still want a game, do the game.
Yeah.
Just have some fun, let yourself relax, let yourself decompress, and then come back at it fresh.
Exactly. Because whether people realize that or not, it comes through when you're not really into it. And in a competitive field like streaming, you want to be into it. You want to bring that vibe that you're enjoying yourself so that the people that are in your chat are enjoying themselves. So it's just a tip. Even when serious stuff like I do on Friday nights, there are times where it gets to be too much and I need a break. And it's important to put that mental health first, because when you're okay, that comes across in your stream. When you're not okay, that comes across in your stream. And it especially those of us who are blessed enough to have a bunch of followers, they understand.
And if you're really not okay, it comes through on the evening news.
Very funny. Good Lord.
This just in. Crazy man seen outside with a Mega Buster on his hand.
You're a mess.
Demanding to see Dr. Wily.
Good Lord.
It's going to be me.
You had an interesting day today.
I want to thank everybody for stopping by the surprise Saturday stream that I had to do Metroid Dread today. Yep. I got cut off a little bit on Friday because I had an important phone call that I was not expecting to come in when it did, and there was just no way to... You're telling me Metroid Dread this rice? I don't understand that sentence, Zoe.
Metroid Dreaded this rice.
I don't understand anything of what the words you just used. That sentence might as well be written in Greek. Because I understand it just as much as I do Greek.
He's not an anagram person either.
I am not. I hated those in school.
I loved them.
I hated anagrams. Those are the thing where like they just misappropriate the letters in the word and you have to try to figure out what it is.
No, that's when they you could take the first letters of each of the word and create stuff like homes, like what I told you.
I wasn't taught that in school, so
yeah.
Instead of classic, you're telling me a shrimp fried this rice.
I'm making chicken fried rice later, so
I still don't understand what you're saying, Zoe. Are you like in the deeper subconscious part of my brain right now, Zoe? Are you messing around with all the switches and levers? Don't touch those switches and levers. It is a house of cards. If it falls apart, you're not going to be able to put it back together. I have cobbled together just a barely functioning central nervous and brain system here. You do not want to go messing with it.
You're a mess.
What was I talking about? Oh, Metroid Dread. Without giving any spoilers to anything in there, which I'm not that far in, so I can't really spoil anything for anybody. I have to say, probably one of the best Metroid games I have ever played. Just starting up and playing it, I absolutely am enjoying everything that I'm doing. Even the parts where I get lost and I end up repeating the same cycle of the map 2 or 3 times. The whole thing is just a fun adventure for me to figure out where I'm going, what I'm doing. I love the updates that they've made, so that if you run across a missile upgrade, energy upgrade, it marks it on the map, and you can actually see, did I get that one or did I not get that one? It's not like the old Super Metroid where it was like, okay, I'm missing one missile, and it could be anywhere on this map. I like the fact that they are messing in the order in which you usually get the power-ups, because on the older games you usually get the Morph Ball first, and then it kind of escalates from there to weapons and suits and stuff. They really just kind of, okay, you're going to have this one now, and you don't see what you're going to use it for, but then you get to use it, and you're like, okay, I see what's going on there. Very, very happy with it. Normally, you get a new game out, and it's like, man, I really shouldn't have spent the $60 on that. I am actually happy that I spent the $60 on that.
And it's hard, because there's been a lot of game releases. Like the 3 games that I've been playing mostly, Bloodlines put out a new update because they said they listened to a lot of the complaints in the forums. I'm still on the fence on whether or not I'll go back to playing it, because as much as I like Vampire the Masquerade, I'm not that into PvP, and I thought it was going to be a RPG type world thing where you could have your choice, like most MMOs. You have the PvP aspects, but you also have the PvE aspects that bring people like me who like the game for lore in. I'm not seeing an update for that yet, so I'm going to give it one more chance since I'm in the closed beta to see if they're listening to those people. Mm-hmm. And if not, I gave it a shot. It's not for me. I don't particularly think it's going to be fun trying to go around the city unlocking quests and lore and getting shot in the head and losing everything. That's not fun for me gaming wise. Yeah. So as much as Vampire, I do love the customization. I love that it really feels like you're in the world of Vampire the Masquerade, but I am just not. If I want Battle Royale, there are plenty of other games that just give me that Battle Royale without any lore wants. Yeah. So I'm torn with that.
Yeah, and I think it's nice if they actually give you a game like that where it's like, okay, first we're just going to introduce you to the Battle Royale because that'll get you to learn the combat system, it'll get you to learn how the characters move, how they operate, and then add a story to it. That's fine. But I think if they just stop and leave it a Battle Royale, they're going to lose a lot of...
Yeah, they're trying to grab that Fortnite feel, and I get it. It's just not for me.
I can't... Yeah. I tried to look at that because I was like, well, everybody likes playing it. Maybe I'll give it a shot because it's basically free. You have to pay for the expansions, but you can get the game itself for free. And it's just too busy. Like how are you building and being shot at and returning fire and building what you're building? I can't. Like there's that I handle the buttons on the controller just fine, but that is where my old man brain kicks in. It's just like, I don't understand what you're doing. And even
me as a glorified multitasker, when I play games, I go into it with a certain mindset. Mm-hmm. If I'm crafting that day, that's what I'm doing. If I'm killing that day, that's what I'm doing. If I'm exploring, it's very rare that I ever enjoy a game where I gotta do all of that at once.
Yeah.
So it's just like
Minecraft. I mean, I got nothing against Minecraft. I think it's...
I can't stand that game. I'm not even going to fake that fun.
A great premise for a game. I think a lot of people out there enjoy playing it.
And more power to y'all.
And I can understand why. You will not see me playing it, though, because
my son loves it, but I'm just not...
I like the thing of... mining and stuff to get the resources you need to build the thing that you want to get.
Do it in Dragon's Age Inquisition all the time.
But I don't like the fact that it looks like I'm playing an 8-bit Mario game. I was like, well, I want to play an 8-bit Mario game. I'm going to play 8-bit Mario.
Exactly. I got Legend of Zelda when I needed that 8-bit fix. Other than that, I tried. Kiddo had me on for like 2 hours because he was like, if you keep doing it, you'll get into it. And I wasn't. Yeah. And it was boring for me. And I'm sorry.
I don't know what combination of what it is, but the motion of the game makes me a little dizzy when I watch it. Like I don't get motion sickness. I can be on a boat.
I've had that happen to me in some games too, though.
It was just something about how the game moves. I don't know if it's just the swiftness in which it rotates the camera and stuff.
It could be the graphics too, because I played 2 current Standstone games. Well, not really both of them, but I used to play the Lord of the Rings online. But I'm a diehard DDO fan, and I realized I couldn't play Lord of the Rings online long term because I was getting severe motion sickness. And I don't know if it's the way the camera moves when you move or the lighting they use in certain areas, but it made me physically nauseous to play that game, so I stopped playing it.
Yeah, and I haven't had too many games do that. Normally I can handle the weird camera angles and the motion of switching from this person to that person and stuff like that. But for some reason, I just couldn't handle that.
Yeah, it was the same for me with Lotro, but DDO has been doing a lot of updates. Update 51 is on the horizon, and they just did another thing in their test servers for the stuff that I complained about. About 3 weeks ago, I did a special for their test server where they were showing the epic destinies, and they finally got the healer stuff out. So I'm going to log on probably sometime during the week and test those out myself, because for me, I feel like certain games leave certain classes out because they think, oh, you're just the side characters anyway. And it's like, no, there are people out there that play their clerics because they love the class. Mm-hmm. And I want to see more love given to
I used to
casters.
The one and DE that we used to play, I used to love playing my cleric because I could get experience. I didn't have to go out on an adventure. Now, I did roll my cleric so that he could go out on an adventure, but it was much easier starting out to just do what I could do by healing people that went out on adventure, and then as I gained levels, I could go out and actually do stuff.
Whereas in D&D, I was a cleric of death. I more souls I could collect, the more powerful I became.
Yeah, it was hard for me because I rolled them in such a way that I attributed the stats to a warrior class as opposed to the other way, where you want a high mana pool and regeneration.
You're a battle cleric, basically.
Yeah. So what I did is I was like, well, as you level up, you get those boosts, basically to increase those stats. And I was like, well, if I run them like this, like physical attack and everything, like a warrior was, when those other effects kick in, they'll counteract each other, and then I'll actually be able to heal and fight. Solomon, how's it going, buddy?
Welcome to the chat, Solomon. But that's the thing. I feel like a lot of games still think, well, that cleric icon means you're just going to be in the back healing people. And what I've liked about DDO, and they haven't gotten it completely 100%, is that they're starting to realize that clerics want to fight, clerics want to cast.
Yeah.
I slay undead with my cleric, but I'm also fire and light based, so it's a little bit easier for me. But even then, turning is still hard because you got to split your attributes.
And I get that, everybody, for whatever the reason, when you think healer, you think, okay, that's going to be the weakest physical attack or defense person of the party. They
Which is ridiculous.
In the back to keep everybody else up. And I was like, no, they can actually, you have, like you said, battle clerics, and you have people that actually train
divine casters.
Yeah, and I was like, they need to implement more of that, because that is kind of a nice system to have. It's like, hey, I can damage, but I can also heal.
Yeah.
You can offset the thing so that people don't become like, hey, God mode, I just took the sword wound that I got, I just pulled it out and healed it myself. It's like, you can make it be where...
Yeah, we don't want it to not be a challenge.
Anything geeky or gaming, Solomon.
We're talking
kind of a broad area, because we're just kind of almost freestyling it tonight.
Yeah, we're talking gaming now. There's a couple of games we've been playing. He just got finished talking about what he liked about Metroid, and since I exclusively play DDO, especially on Sundays, I was talking about Update 51 that's coming out. They're doing a lot of changing for people who play level 20 and above. It's our epic destinies. It's how our players feel more powerful in dungeons, because after level 20, gear really doesn't matter in that game as much as feats and skills. So they gave us epic skills, but it's kind of a lot. They gave us too much, and now they're trying to condense it, and they're trying to do it in a way that people won't rage, but we're gamers, people are going to rage.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's one thing you could say about gamers. They will find something about something that they don't
like.
Yeah,
it's doom and gloom on the DDO forums as it is, and what bothered me about them inviting me to do a special stream was they didn't have everything available, and my fighters, they got to see what they would need to change up to still be effective, which I'm fine with. But I'm a caster and a cleric a lot in these games.
Mm-hmm.
So it bothered me that wizard stuff wasn't done and divine stuff wasn't done. And every time I've been invited to the test server, because they did this to me a few years back, it's been the same. When they originally rolled out those Epic Destinies, the divine lines weren't done at all. And then what they had for us was abysmal. So much that right before I got hired to do promotion for the former company, that before they got bought out, I went on a tirade about how you can't keep treating the class like the redheaded stepchild.
Right. Because
a lot of people play these classes. We love these classes. We had a full-on 12% all-cleric raid. And just did an amazing job. We had a ladies' raid where it was almost all clerics as well. So I was like, we got to stop treating these classes as if they're just supportive in a game where you don't have to do that if you don't want.
Yeah.
I'm currently playing a rogue right now that pretty much keeps pace with the fighters.
Yeah.
And that's because once you learn certain skills, it doesn't matter what class you're playing. It's how you play them.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, and I got a lot of. I think a lot of people like to go into a game like that, where it's like I'm just gonna charge in and start swinging, and it's like that works low level monsters. It works in the earlier stuff.
Maybe some open areas, but once you get to the levels that we're playing Reaper mode, you want to know what you're doing with your characters.
Yeah, you want to be tactful.
Because you're gonna die if you don't.
I play on a couple different app games where it's like, okay, if I go into this area, I need to be strategic.
Yeah.
I need to take out this person and this person first, because then the rest of them my guys won't have trouble with. But if they stay in long enough, they develop bigger combos, it's going to hurt my team. Yeah. So you do have to have some kind of strategy.
And my thing is, I've been playing Diablo 2, and nothing reminded me of how much I hadn't played any of the Diablo games for a while, like Diablo 2. Because I was getting spanked left and right at first. Losing my money was making me mad. I was going back just naked to beat up them demons to get my money back and get my stuff. So it's just a learning curve that I can't play it like DDO.
I can see your character just show up. Why are you naked? They took my stuff.
Yeah, I got them back. But it's still, I'm enjoying it. I love the reskin of it. I love that you can take the skin off, too, and have it look like the old game, but I won't do that because it's ugly.
But a lot of the stuff in Solomon, I don't know if we'll be able to get Baldur's Gate or anything like that. Diablo might be possible, but we'll have to work something out so we can all get together and do something like that.
Unless it's the new Baldur's Gate.
Which one's the new one?
They just released one, I think, a few months ago. I don't know much about it, and it had something to do with mind flares and everything else. It's fairly new. It's like an MMO.
I saw they did on the Switch. They did a 2-pack where you get Baldur's Gate 1, Baldur's Gate 2, and then I thought they had Baldur's Gate 3, which was coming out, but I didn't know if it released yet or not.
I believe it has. I've seen some gameplay of it. I'm still waiting for us to get that one where we can play Dritz and Cadbury and all of them.
Yeah, for
the Xbox.
Yeah, for the Xbox. I think, is that Dark Alliance?
Yeah, I think it's called Dark Alliance.
But it's not Baldur's Gate, because there's a Baldur's Gate.
There's a Baldur's Gate,
Dark
but
Alliance,
this is a different.
But this, different.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When they do games like that, they really need to create your own character.
Yeah. That's one of the things that the reason why I still play DDO, the reason why I love Dragon's Age is because of the customization. Because it's like I tell Axiom, and I know it ruffles some feathers, but it's hard for people like me in gaming. We don't get proper representation still. And I know a lot of game companies are trying harder at it, but it's still certain people don't feel like they see themselves, even in fantasy games. Yeah. So when I have a fantasy game where I can make an elf of my skin tone or a human of my skin tone, I feel a little bit more at ease.
Yeah.
And a lot of game companies still don't do that. A lot of game companies still don't even want to put females in games.
Yeah, which I don't understand. It's like there's a whole market out there for female gamers, female gaming accessories. And like Nintendo's a horrible one for it, I think,
I
honestly.
give up on Nintendo.
As much as I love Nintendo, you guys are missing out. You could have Zelda cases, Samus cases, you could have all kinds of accessories for your female gamers so that they can
well, even non-binary.
Hand me my new Switch case real quick.
Yeah.
Like, I had to get a new Switch case because mine was starting to fall apart, and I got this one. I was like, why was this easy to find, but I couldn't find a Zelda one like this for Kal? Why couldn't I get a Zelda or a Sheik or anything that would tend to go that way for female gamers, or like
who are into that,
or non-binary gamers that just wanted to? They have a favorite. You know, why is it always settled down to, okay, you have Mario, Link, and Luigi now because he's gotten kind of popular.
Yeah. It's the same reason Marvel doesn't put out Black Widow or Captain Marvel or Binary or Scarlet Witch toys either. They think that this genre, anything geeky, is still guy-oriented, and they're missing out.
No, there's a huge base for female gaming.
And all of our money go to anime because they actually understand we like that stuff. You know?
They made a game for Peach and we never got it here. So that's dumb. And there's a bunch of games that they made but they never released here, like Mega Man Legends. There's a Mega Man Legends 3
Sailor
game out
Moon,
there.
Another Story, which is something I played around
and
because
they make these weird games that no one, like, they're selling them on the eShop for like $1, and it's just like you made this, but you wouldn't make the other thing that you could charge $10 for and actually sell. I don't
get it, but
do you hate money? I mean,
I feel like they must. You know?
At what point do you get big enough in the gaming industry where you go, you know what? Yeah, that's throwing money away, but we don't care.
I can see the dollar stuff being, okay, these are our independents, we're going to try you out. So I'm hoping that's what that is.
Yeah.
But what drives me nuts is there are a lot of games that they release overseas that people think over here, oh, it won't be big. And it's like, yeah, it would.
And it would, because people go out and they make ROMs of it, and they translate it themselves and they release it over here, but then they get shut down when the company finds out they did it. It's like, if they were to put that much work into that game, why don't you?
Exactly.
Why don't you go ahead and put that kind of information in your that investment into the game and actually release it? Why not, better yet, put that person on payroll and be like, hey, you did a lot of work here. Here's some money to compensate you.
Looking at y'all, Momon. Momon is one of the reasons why I still play Pokemon. It is so much fun.
We found Momon a couple months back, and it was just like, I love this because they're all adorable.
Yeah, I want to actually collect them all.
Yeah, it's like, I actually want to collect all these now, and it's worth putting up with the old system where you have to travel all the way back and all the way forward.
And not being able to access your PC. Sora has me so spoiled.
Yeah.
That's why I took a break from it, because it's like, this is frustrating. I hate having to run to the stupid corner, or whatever that thing's called.
The PC.
Yeah, the PC there to get my Pokemon to switch things. I'm not used to it no more.
You guys want to see what the old days were like, some of you that haven't played...
And I've been playing since Gen 1.
But like Sword, Shield, and the Go games.
Yeah.
Boot up an old copy of Pokemon, one of the first ones, when you can't just open up your menu and be like, I want that Pokemon that's in the box. No, you have to go to the Pokestop, and you have to go to the PC, and then you have to swap it out there. And if you want to switch it back, you got to do the same thing again.
Yeah, it's a pain in the it's ass. It really is.
The old days, where not everybody in your party got XP from fighting. You had to put them actually in the fight.
And I mean, even little things like the contest was fun so far with my Momon, but doing the berry stuff, I forgot how annoying that was. I like making the curry and giving them the itis. So it really got me spoiled with that.
And that's something that they need to fix, because we tried to hook up and do a camp together so that we could actually increase our friendship and then camp with our Pokemon.
Yeah.
And we were in the same exact spot.
In the same house?
Same spot, same in-game and out-of-game. We were right next to each other, did not show up on each other's system.
Nintendo Wi-Fi is the worst right now. That's another reason why I just haven't been into it.
I restarted my game. I transferred some of the ones I wanted to keep over to Kal, and I was just like, just give those back to me, because I'm going to start the game all over. I'm just going to scrub everything off of it, and I'm going to start the whole adventure all over again. I didn't get the expansions or anything, but I got the main story redone. And then it's just like that after story part. I was like, I don't have the patience to do this right now.
Yeah, that after story could have been cut. It still irks my nerves.
Could have been cut. It could have been.
What is with a sword bird and a shield bird? What are those things? I don't.
They could have put that in the game, I think, and it would have been better.
I would have liked it if I had the option to see them go nope and keep it moving.
Yeah.
There was a lot of... That was my whole review of Pokemon Sword and Shield. There was a lot of moments where I wish I just had the ability to say, I'm not interested, and keep it moving towards my goal.
Yeah.
I was so frustrated by the time you finally got to the final battle, and then that kept getting interrupted. I was like, you know what?
That was like that whole Battleless Interruptus thing that they did. That was horrible because it was just like, this fight is only going to take like 3 minutes of my time.
Yeah.
I could have this over with, and then we could go on to this other part. And the whole part where you could feel it. It's like, this is going to get interrupted. I'm not going to get to fight.
And it was over something stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I get Chairman Rose, bad guy, but you're interrupting a Pokemon battle for something that's supposed to happen 1,000 years in the future.
Yeah.
And I know now that wasn't a translation thing. It was just that stupid. The plot was that stupid.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing that irritates me. Is like, I'm worried about this event happening, so I'm going to cause it to happen now.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a second. You have 1,000 years to worry about this and try to figure out a way to stop it from happening, but instead you're going to accelerate it so that it happens now. How is that helping?
And his reasoning makes no sense. You're trying to prevent eco-terrorism by committing eco-terrorism?
Yeah.
What?
They'd be like Captain Planet just dumping toxic waste into the ocean. This'll fix the problem. And
Yeah.
right in there, because like, if there's no fish to die, then no fish will get killed.
Exactly.
That doesn't make any sense.
None of it just keeps the repetitive motion of all of the Pokemon villains so far have been depressing disappointments and stupid.
Yeah.
Now, I will make the caveat that I did not play Black and White, and I've heard GetXcynics is actually villain.
Right.
So I'm kind of tempted, but I don't want to really buy the games.
But at least I did like the fact that Team Yell was not
an actual villain.
Bad guy. It wasn't
They're just fans. They're like soccer hooligans.
Yeah, they're just like, we got you a little bit, but at least they weren't like the Team Skull, I think it was.
God.
I hated Team Skull.
I really wanted to finish that replay of Pokemon Sun and Moon. It makes me want to punch things.
Every time I walked up on them and I was like, oh God, here they are again. And they turn around and they're just like, yo kid, what's up? Yo, whoa, whoa. And I was just like, this hurts me.
I'm too old for this.
This physically hurts me.
I'm too old for this. It doesn't even amuse me. I shut the first time you got me the game, I shut it off. I was like, I can't do this. Nope. I stopped.
I didn't even finish the game, honestly. I think I traded it in after because I was like, I'm not going to play this anymore.
And my OCD wouldn't let me do that. I had to finish it.
It was funny because I think I kept... I think we had X and Y, and then we got that, which was... What was that?
Yeah, it's right after Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon?
Yeah.
Was that the Team Skull one?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I got a Sun and Moon, and then I was just like, I'm trading Sun and Moon in, and I'm going to keep X because I enjoyed that more than what I enjoyed that other one. And it was just after about the 4th or 5th time of them just showing up, and I was just like, I can't take it.
I think we would have liked Ultra Sun and Moon better, which I'm eventually going to get those.
Right.
Because the battles are better, there's a better mechanic with that Ultra Beast stuff, which that's another thing that irks me about the Pokemon series. It's like, we already have like 900 of them, and now you're giving us interdimensional ones.
Yeah.
Tone it down.
Yeah.
I've got Poke fatigue.
Yeah, it's like, I get the whole thing was you want to catch them all, so you keep coming out with newer ones. I think you need to change your dynamic a little bit.
And they're doing it somewhat with these newer games because instead of a lot of new ones, they're just giving us variants of ones that are making them a bit more interesting.
The Ponyta.
Yeah.
How much better was that?
I love her. I hate that she's in a game where I can't ride her, but I love her so much.
Yeah. But it's like, just do that. Just create variants off ones you already have because everybody has their favorite.
And give us an open world MMO. Come on. You want to make money off people on Pokemon? Niantic has tried. And I still play Pokemon Go, so this isn't a knock to them. But you have the ability to create an MMO where you get to be a Pokemon master in any way you want. Whether it's breeding, battling, running a gym. You can make it where people not only pay you to have a life in the game as a Pokemon trainer, but actually build up and buy properties and actually develop a Pokemon world.
Well, that's the whole thing. Is all they would need is a large enough server, and just to be like, okay, you can't access every area at one time. We're gonna come out and release it in expansions and stuff. But you can create your own personal trainer. You customize the look any way you want. That's your trainer, and you can start in the Kanto region or the Galarian region, whatever region you want to start with. That's where you can start, and you can just work your way around to collect all the gym badges.
It can be open world PvP where you can decline or agree to battle, toggle it, and be like, yeah, I'm here to fight, or ask me.
They had Street Pass there for a little bit on the DS, and I thought that was great. You came across somebody that had their DS too, you could fight them later.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like they are missing out on the opportunity.
Yeah, kind of Sword Art's premise, but Pokemon.
Yeah,
and it would be people would play it. It's kind of a cross between Pokemon Go and a regular Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Because if you could actually have it be where you look on Pokemon Go and you see the person, like if I fired it up and Cal fired hers up and we could see each other on the map and we could hit battle.
Or even team up.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly feel like they have...
I would not actually battle Cal.
Yes, he's battled me.
Way too competitive.
I am very competitive.
Way too competitive.
But I feel like they keep...
Shut up. I had to get that last one in there, I'm sorry.
I feel like they keep missing that opportunity, and I'm telling you, there are other games on the horizon. Looking at you, Slime. It's the guy I'm looking so forward to it.
We have really enjoyed that time I got reincarnated as a slime, and Cal especially. She is like
I'm deep into the lore.
I'm afraid I'm gonna wake up.
There's no coming back.
She's not gonna be there anymore. I'm just gonna see a slime on the bed because she's just that into it.
It's just done so well,
and I get why she likes it. Very integral story. There's no
character you don't care about.
Everybody's really well developed. Katie.
Not as much as she on.
But I was curious. I was like, is there an app game for this game coming out here? So I looked and there was nothing. And then 2 days later, just the other night, she goes on and looks for it and she finds it.
Yep.
And she's like, oh, it's in
it's in development. You get pre-registered.
You can pre-register for it. So we both pre-registered for it. And I fear
on both my accounts
that we will lose Cal when that game releases. So if you guys see her just disappear from social media entirely,
I know that you're not going to have the full customization in other games, but they're already offering you to go through Rimurum's journey, picking and choosing skills at your will. It's going to have battles. You're going to have actual town building. If everything they're promising in the trailer demos is true, it's going to be fun. You know, the battles will feel more MOBA-like, but I've played MOBA games. I'm currently playing Transformers again with you and another friend, so I don't hate MOBA games. I'm excited because I want to see how they do that town building. Because I like that.
That town building sounds like a lot of fun, because I enjoy games like that where you build something, you get resources from it, and you use those resources to build something else, and you can kind of control how your city develops.
Yeah.
I just hate the fact that, like all the ones that I've played, eventually you get to the PvP area and everybody else that has either spent money or bought their way to their final thing just come by and waylay you and take all your resources every 5 minutes, so it takes you 3 weeks to upgrade one building.
Or like that Dragon game that we played where it just felt like it took too long to develop the area, and my area felt cluttered. There was just a lot of stuff that didn't really go.
Yeah, they need to make it kind of like, what's that one game that everybody plays where they have their little islands? I can't
Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing, where you can build your area exactly as you want. That's what they need to do.
Yeah. But I know Tempest will kind of mirror the game, so I'm excited about that.
I can see like having like the main areas exactly where they are, but let me put everything else around there.
Yeah, and I'm excited.
I can't remember Animal Crossing. I don't know why. Like
because we really don't play it.
The only thing that the thing that I get is they had that Leaf one for DS that came out. I remember Leaf, and that's it. It's like you wanted to call it Leaf Green, and it's like, no, that's a Pokemon game.
That's a Pokemon game. But that's why I'm excited for next year, especially because it feels like there's going to be a lot of good releases. And this year wasn't that bad, especially for Team Shut-Ins. Shout out to you Shut-Ins. We got a lot of free releases and we got a lot of paid releases. And, you know, I know with the pandemic, we all got to walk that fine balance of what we're playing. I know a lot of people have been playing that Nickelodeon game. It looks fun. I've been watching a lot of the live streams of that.
The problem I have with that is like
it's just like Smash with Nintendo skins to me.
Yeah, and it's like I would love it. I would love to play Danny Phantom. That's probably one of my favorite characters on that. Fighting games just haven't been appealing to me like that lately.
I haven't really enjoyed a fighting game since Street Fighter days. Yeah. Like I used to love playing on my Sega,
right,
and just blasting away. Yeah. I played Street Fighter and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I even got a Sailor Moon hack game, but it doesn't feel the same anymore.
Yeah, it's like I think the last Smash Brothers game that I liked playing, I think, was Melee.
And I played a couple on that old DS back in the day.
And too. I get that with that it was just you had the same moves but just different characters, and each character's move did a little differently, but they were essentially all the same fighter. It was just how you fought with them.
I mean, I used to love Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah. That was my thing, but that was back when I used to actually physically go in the arcades and play.
And I got that on the Xbox. I think it was Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I think.
Yeah. You downloaded it for the whole house.
Yeah, they had a sale on it and stuff, and I tried it, and it was fun to play as long as there was story. Yeah. But when I got into the online battle part, the battle other people, I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of stuff on there, like if you did your power-ups a certain way, you could cheese the system and end up with an extra guy for this fight, and it was just like, now I gotta fight that guy again? I was like, I just fought that guy. Why do I have to fight that guy again? You know, so I was like, the fighting game I just kind of, and it'll change. Like, 3 months from now, I could be just all about fighting games, and that's,
It's the way it is with gaming. I never pin myself down to one genre. It's whatever I'm in the mood for.
Yeah.
Some days I'm really stressed out. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to go shoot things.
Yeah.
And I'll jump on the shooter and just put on Cyndi Lauper and get my headshots. That's the way I do it.
But I got to say, I am really enjoying this reintroduction of Metroid back into that side-scroller.
Yeah.
They handled it really well. The backgrounds on it, everything it looks like you're actually traveling through the area, instead of it just being like a dark cave and there's nothing going on in the background, or there's very little going on in the background.
Yeah.
And while I would like to see Nintendo do a Metroid Prime release, just a bundle, all 3 games, so you can do that first-person shooter with it, because those games were a lot of fun like that, I'm really enjoying the Dread one so far.
I'm glad, And there are a lot of things to like about these new releases that, coming from 8-bit to now, I tell Kiddo all the time too. I was like, I have seen games evolve.
Yeah.
We've watched games go from literal Pong to where we are now, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, and it's a really short amount of time. I know it feels like it takes a long time for some of these games to get made, or some of the game concepts to level up to where we want them to be. Like I was complaining about how Pokemon's like, why can't I just access my box from here? Why do I got to go all the way to a PC? And then we finally get it, and it's like, okay, yeah, it was a nice thing, but it spoils you a little bit too.
It does, and I just think even though it's been like 30 years for a lot of these game companies, they have really changed formats well. Mm-hmm. You've really gone from your character looking like a bunch of little squares put together, the block period, to just smooth worlds that look almost realistic now.
Oh, yeah.
They're even making Mario look more realistic, which is kind of creepy. I can't lie. I don't want to see a live-action Turtley Goomba.
No.
Yeah.
But it would be kind of funny to see, like, Mario. I would like I know they're doing a CG'd or animated Mario movie here. I'd like to see it look like Deathlock style.
Oh, gosh.
And that'd be kind of funny to see Mario walk in almost looking like Murderface.
Oh, Lord, no. That's creepy.
Where's Yoshi? Toad walks in.
What
what do you mean, where's Ulysses over there?
we watched a lot of Metalocalypse the last few weeks. It was fun getting back with that.
Yeah, Solomon, that game looks amazing. Half of it, I just love watching the cutscenes and the loading screens on it because it looks so good. Yeah. They did such a good job of rendering it that it's just like, this was well worth the wait.
And so you love a game when you love cutscenes because, as I was telling you, one of my beefs with certain games is they put things in cutscenes that we should be doing in game.
Right.
Destiny 2 is one of those games that drives me nuts with that.
There is one thing that I noticed when I was just playing a little bit earlier that I do have a little bit of an issue with. There's parts in the cutscenes where it's interactive. When during a boss fight, if you do a counter, you can still be shooting at the guy.
Yeah.
But you actually have to shoot at the guy. They didn't like auto do that for you. Like, it's not like if you do the block, you still have to press the shoot button while it's happening. And I thought for a bit there that it happened automatically.
Okay.
And even during the boss fights, it's like that. So you do a little indicator the first time that happened to say, hey, you have to press the fire button if you want to shoot at this guy during this particular like scenographic fight part. Would have been helpful to let me know that.
Yeah.
Because it happened once and I didn't realize, like, oh, I actually have to shoot the button. And then, like Solomon said earlier on the one that I was just doing, he goes, I didn't know you could do it that way. I was like, I didn't either. It's the first time I fought this guy. So I just happened on a little bit of a way to cut the fight a little bit shorter, I think. And it was just like a little bit of the indicator to say, hey, during these scenes you can damage the enemy just the first time so that you are aware that you can. There was really nothing there telling you that you could do it.
Well, I think they might figure most gamers are going to try. I mean, that tends to be my thing. If I could shoot at it, I will.
Yeah, but it's like, with it being like almost a cutscene, but it's not, you don't want to skip it. And I was worried that if I hit a button, I would skip it, and then I wouldn't get to see the enemy die.
Yeah.
Because there might be an extra part of the cutscene there.
Yeah.
So I was trying not to, and then when I noticed that if I hit the fire button, Samus actually fires, and then if you press the missile button, it actually fires the missiles. I was just like, okay, so I still have to interact with the scene.
Yeah.
So, but that's me reaching for something to complain about.
Okay.
That's me trying to find something to dredge up.
I feel like we're seeing a lot of games that you've grown up playing redone though, or in a new light too.
Later on tonight, I'm thinking I'm going to go through and play Metroid Fusion again.
Okay.
Just pop that cartridge out, put it in my SP, and play that for a little bit.
Well, I have no problem with you gaming while I get right in the manga reading.
I know what you're going to do. You're going to be watching anime and reading manga.
I can't help it. There has been so many series that they're taken from just slice of life mangas now and making them into anime. So I've just been enjoying that.
Yeah.
While waiting for them to finish freaking Slime season 2. They're driving me nuts.
I told you to pace yourself.
They have 6 episodes they haven't released yet that have already aired a month ago.
I can't remember if I say it, but when we finished season 1, I wanted to look at you and say, let's stop until they either announce they've got season 3 started or they're starting to upload season 3, just so you didn't just gobble it all up and now you have no dessert left.
It's just making me mad that they don't have just finish what you started. That's all I want. I already read what happened, so I just want to see it animated now.
We need to get you their addresses or their phone numbers so you can call them every day. Have you got it done yet? Hey, do you get it done yet?
Come on for the basic!
Ding dong! Who's here? It's 3 a.m. You guys done yet?
I'm just excited. I like having stuff to watch on TV now. Yeah. It got to the point where I was only watching Twitch.
Yeah.
I was watching live streams because it was more entertainment for me than scripted TV currently.
Yeah.
So it's nice to actually want to turn the TV on right now.
Yeah, and it's not bad. I mean, it's definitely nice to actually watch something. Like, I've been paying for the Funimation app for over a year.
Yeah.
And I only used it like the first couple months I got it, and then I was just like, well, I'm grandfathered in for that old price plan.
Yeah.
So I was like, I kept it just because I was like, well, I'd rather keep it and keep the old price plan on it than to lose it and then decide I want it again and then to have it pay $2 more.
I feel like every time you were on the fence on whether or not you were going to keep it, Cal found something she wanted to watch, like Horror Mia, and it just every time I think, we could probably let this go, they put something I want to watch.
And it is nice to have a girlfriend or a partner that when you say I want to watch anime, they go, anime, cartoons. I never had that problem with Cal.
Yeah,
I've never looked at her and said, hey, you want to watch some anime? And she's not already got the remote in her hand and going to the app.
Yeah. Did
you say you want to watch what? I finished the sentence in my head. You said anime, right? Like, yeah.
Hey, I've always loved cartoons anyway. I mean, anime or our style, I grew up on cartoons, so I've never had a problem with them. We watched Courage last night just because, and I've been watching We Bare Bears again because I
gotta be fair, I gave that show a lot of crap. My girlfriend will watch it with me, like we watched a lot. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good to have something like as important as it is for people to have separate things that they enjoy away from each other. It's important that you guys have something that you enjoy doing together.
Yeah, in common.
Yeah. And we have a lot in common. I mean, that we like there's some days where it's just like I should be doing something with Cal, and I walk in and it's like, you want to do something? So I'm doing this. I was like, well, I'm going to go play video game. Okay, see you later, bye.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then it's like, hey, let's watch this. We watched Free Guy.
Yeah, we watched Free Guy the other night, which is good movie. It's not great.
Wasn't completely bad. One of the things that bothered me about Free Guy is, I'm too old for a lot of stuff. Yeah. Like, I felt like they wrote that movie as an old person trying to reach out to young people instead of letting actual gamers.
You know what's funny is it had a lot of qualities that Grandma's Boy had.
Yeah.
Like the weird techie guy that runs the company.
Yeah.
I was like, I got that same feel like I was waiting for him to do that high-pitched robot voice and be like, powering now.
Yeah.
And
now,
just kind of...
I could see the whole douchey developer, not even developer, president of the company stuff. Yeah. So that didn't bother me because I was exposed to guys like that. I mean, I remember the Zynga guy.
Yeah.
He was a douche like that, so I'm just saying. Allegedly.
But,
I felt like a lot of other things were just unrealistic. Like, unless you're having a tournament, not everybody's going to be tuned in to watching a live stream of some rando shoot 'em up game.
Yeah, and that was the thing, like, it wasn't like I get during streaming, we have both of our streams have a fairly decent audience.
Yeah, we
go live, we get a pretty good decent number of people in there, and which we appreciate.
Yep.
But it's not like everybody in the world that's watching a stream is watching us
at the same time.
That's kind of what they portrayed, is like, this game is so big, everybody watches it all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, even if the game is big, even if it's something
if the streamers are streaming it's big.
Yeah, and it was kind of nice because they had a Ninja in the movie, and I think they had a couple other ones that I just didn't recognize.
They had a few people that I recognize from YouTube because they're always in trouble.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that's
the only reason why I know
you. It was neat that they brought those streamers into the movie and used it so that it gave it some kind of credibility to it. But it was just like,
there was a lot of
those guys
side-eye stuff
are not going to be like, this is the only thing I watch. This is the only thing I stream because this is what everybody wants to see. They're going to do it for a bit, but if they're not enjoying it, they're going to go back to what they enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And I just
felt like there was a lot of poking fun at gamers that still missed the mark too. The whole, he's a streamer that's 22 years old and living with his mom, and I guarantee you that if he was as popular as he's making himself out to be, where he could get into that, guarded area, he's making money. So he doesn't need to be disrespecting his mom, and his mom wouldn't be disrespecting him. That whole loser gamer living off their parents stuff, that meme needs to die, y'all. We're diverse. Mm-hmm. A lot of us are parents now. A lot of us Gen Xers have been playing video games for well over 20 years.
Yeah.
And I just feel like a lot of these movies missed the mark so that they can make cheap jokes that don't even land. A lot of the stuff I laughed at in Free Guy was the physical stuff.
Yeah.
Like, none of the verbal jokes hit at all for me.
Yeah, there was very few in between jokes that like, the actor said something, the other actor responded to it, and then I'm trying to be as vague as possible because it's still new. I don't want to give spoilers or anything like that.
That's why I said it was more physical than verbal for me.
Like there was a slapstick kind of comedy that happened in there that only Ryan Reynolds can pull off because he makes it believable that it's actually happening to him.
Yeah.
That stuff was funny, but it was like, it wasn't a complete miss, but it wasn't a complete hit.
And
like, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
But like, if it was a $3 rental, go ahead and watch it. It's a $3 rental.
It's definitely not worth buying outright right now because, and I will say this without giving too much of a spoiler, stop forcing romantic plots that make no sense.
Yeah.
I don't need it. The movie didn't need it. You could have left that out and it would have been fine.
That's the problem, is like, it would have made sense, but they carried it too long for that not
It was
working.
like, I want to put it this way. If you like somebody that much and they don't get it, keep it moving.
Yeah.
It was painful. It was so cringy that it ruined because it built up a lot of goodwill. The main story for me built up a lot of goodwill. It could have made some sense trying to figure out. I feel like...
Well, now you just spoiled it if they thought that's what was going to happen.
I'm sorry. I just feel like the whole movie should have just did away with any kind of romantic
it should have just been like... They kind of made the romance a thing. Like, you could see it earlier in the movie, and then it went away for the comedy.
It's like watching that little kid...
They tried to shoehorn it back in toward the end to make it make sense, but then they, instead of just getting it over with, where it would have made sense, they dragged it on right till the end of the movie, and it was like, you guys could have gotten rid of that part of it and kept the comedy.
Yeah, it was the equivalent of watching somebody who is a bit senile or addled, and not to mock anybody who's senile, but with glasses on their forehead and asking you where the glasses, and you're explaining to them where their glasses are, but they're feeling their ears, they're feeling their neck. And it was just like
somebody put their glasses up here, and it's like, the glasses are in your head. Where are they? What's going on?
And these are supposed to be smart characters that you're convincing me don't get it, and that's insulting to me.
Yeah, you got a hacker that can protect themselves from being detected on an online game to a degree that the people that made the game can't track their location, but they don't get the obviousness of this person liking them.
Mm-hmm. It was unnecessary.
It was unnecessary, but like I said, we rated it like 3.5 to 4 stars.
3.5, and I was being nice.
Yeah, 3.5 out of 5. It's not a bad movie at all.
Ryan Reynolds saved it.
Yeah,
he carried that whole thing, and his friend. I did like. I liked his
little
buddy.
Security guard buddy. Is funny too.
But I just feel like movies.
So it's not Dumb and Dumber. No.
I kind of wish it had been, because then it would have. I would have laughed at some things. I would have been annoyed, but I would have laughed. It was hard for me to laugh at, and I tuned out a lot of the talking in that movie. And you shouldn't have to.
If you have the HBO Max app, eventually it's going there for streaming purposes.
If you have Disney Plus, I think you're supposed to get it.
I didn't see anything on Disney Plus.
Me either. I was told.
Eventually, I think it will first, but I think they already had a deal for HBO Max, so HBO Max is going to get it first, and then it'll go to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So if you have one of those streaming apps where you can catch it for free because it's already part of your membership, just wait. We paid $20 for it, and it's a $10 movie. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't want to hate on it.
No.
That much. But
it's just constructive criticism at this point, because
in 2 years you'll find it in the $5 dump bin at Walmart.
Yeah. Because it's supposed to be something marketed to people like us, and for me,
they kind of bit the hand that fed him a little bit.
Yeah,
you know, it wasn't
good for gamers to me at all.
It's like going to a restaurant and expecting you order your favorite meal. It's like, oh, I love this meal. It's really good when you get it hot, and they bring it out lukewarm. Yeah, it's still your favorite meal.
And you're gonna
but you're a little disappointed in it now.
Yeah, my whole main beef with if you're gonna make a thing where it's a popular game that everybody's playing, at least know what genre that is, because currently the still most popular game played worldwide, sadly, is a World of Warcraft style game.
Yeah.
You know, whether I played it or not, which I don't, I'm not going to hate on World of Warcraft because there are a lot of WoW haters out there as it is. But if we're going to be realistic about the type of game, they tried to make it seem like a game like GTA, which is already out there, would be that popular worldwide. Right. And statistically speaking, people like fantasy.
Yeah.
So I feel like they tried way too hard with Free Guy to mock shooters, mock violent video games, and mock gamers.
I think they could have made it work because it mainly like a GTA game.
Yeah.
If they would have made it something more like My Hero Academia or Disney Universe or any of those online games where you get to make your own character, you can be a hero, you can be a villain.
Yeah.
That I could have bought.
Yeah.
That I could have bought because people would be going around doing all kinds of weird stuff, still like they were doing in this.
Yeah.
But I don't see everybody playing Grand Theft Auto to a degree that it's so popular everybody loves it.
Exactly.
A game like that where you can create your own persona and stuff. I think even if they would have just moved the time frame of the movie so that it was in the future and more gaming was applicable, then it would have made a little bit more sense.
We're here now, and I feel like there are a lot of people in Hollywood that get tidbits of what gaming is, but they're still not letting people who actually game right.
Yeah,
and I feel like they're missing the mark because you can't tell me that Fuse, the creator of Slime, and I'm sorry to bring it back to him, he plays games.
Yeah.
You know he's a gamer because of the reference, because of the stuff he puts into his stories, and there are a lot of us who play games and write. And it feels like there's a lot of people who don't, who just want to put their perspective on it, and then you get stuff like that.
Right.
You know, out of touch references. You get people who think, oh, this would be we'll do this and this should be popular. All the kids are doing that. And it's like, there are full-ass grown families and adults playing video games, sir. Stop trying to market video games as just for kids. Because if you know, that's one of the things I noticed about the movie, too. A lot of the people who are playing in there were like kids.
Yeah, like
it was weird.
2 or 3 people that were talking smack, and it was just like, I get it because, that does happen.
Yeah, on consoles.
Yeah, on console and
especially.
Stuff like that. But not so much on PC gaming. And
I mean, I will say that 2 weeks ago in DDO, being older gamers now, our kids are starting to play. I made Kiddo a game account. He played for 2 hours and then watched me play, so I stopped that. But my friends' kids have been playing, and we raided like 3 weeks ago, and it was funny hearing younger voices because I'm not used to that. I'm used to old people like me, and we talk about gaming stuff and geek stuff. But they were so excited for the game that it was kind of cute.
Yeah.
Like getting Treasure was so excited for them, and we've all been getting Treasure for years. So it's like, whatever. You want this? We don't care.
See, I always feel awkward about that when I hit. Hitting a younger demographic that like people that watch me or want me to game with them is not too bad. If you're a little bit closer to my age, I'm a little bit more comfortable with you because I can make references that you'll get and I don't feel weird. But there was a couple times like back before I started streaming, I was playing Destiny and a buddy's younger son wanted me to group with him, and I was like, okay, I'll do it, just to help him out. Maybe he needs help doing something in the game. And it wasn't just him, it was him and like 5 of his friends. And I'm like, I am very uncomfortable in this situation. Like, I should not be the responsible person in this group. Because they were talking like I would talk with some of my friends. And
see, we didn't have any of that.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't want to be in this group while you guys are talking. I get that that's what, kids do. Kids are going to talk and stuff, but I'm gonna back myself out of this. And then I actually used Kal as an excuse. I was just like, I gotta go myself for once to talk to me.
I will get you out of that mess
because it was just weird. Because they were all like, and this was a few years ago. They were all like, probably 13, 14.
Yeah, young.
Yeah, young. I was like, this had been different if they would have been like in their 20s, because I was closer to my 20s at that point too. But it's just like, this is awkward for me.
And see, with us, it was different because not only were we raiding, so a lot of us was focused on the raid, but just hearing their excitement, and then the fact that they're like guild members' kids, they're like family anyway.
Yeah.
So I just treated them like I would treat kiddo.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, they're getting too loud. Up in the music, down in the game sound. I'm going to keep it moving.
Right.
You know, mute Discord so they can't hear me go, why don't these freaking kids turn it down after a while, because I'm old. And I admit it. I have fun to a certain point, but I've even told them to shut up.
I'm waiting until we get to that point where we're going to be in the nursing home and we're going to be in the little gaming chairs that they have developed for the nursing home, and we're just going to be sitting there moving a mouse with one hand and typing with the other hand, and it'll be like, it's time for your bath. One more level. I'm almost out of this dungeon. Oh, nope, time to go to the bathroom. AFK. No one says AFK anymore, old man.
Shut up before I hit you with my cane. That's for real. I am
Gamer cane, that'll be cool.
That would. I'm excited for the future of gaming. And like I said, I like that the younger generation's playing. I just hate that Hollywood is starting to finally realize that this billion-dollar industry is everywhere. I mean, everybody, even my mom, games.
Yeah.
It's those lame ass Facebook app games, but it's still
they need to look into it, because like you said with the Fuse, the creator of Slime, he games, but he made all of his references and his stuff off of stuff for those gamers.
Yeah.
And it's popular, even if people don't get the references, it's popular because he made it for those fans.
Yeah. And there are a lot of anime like that.
Some of these people, they don't know anything about a genre that they're going to make a movie off of, and they use the jokes that they hear to actually make it, and it's just like, it's a little insulting to like you said, the 22-year-old guy living at home with his mom that apparently was a pretty big streamer, because he was adept enough to get into an area that no one else had gotten into.
Yeah.
So it's just like, to fall into that cliche, they made the whole part of that off of that joke.
Yeah.
And it's like, that doesn't really work here.
At all. You know, and I just feel like they need to get in better touch if they're going to keep making movies like this based off basically our lives.
Yeah.
There are plenty of... There's plenty of material out there. You can make a movie about gamers who fall in love. You can make a movie about gamers who have to take down a big system or something. Japan gets it right. They've even had it where they've taken gamers and put them in life or death games.
Yeah.
So it's like there is plenty of material out there, but you have to have people who are not just yelling buzzwords and are out of touch and just want to make money.
Yeah, as important as it is to have a good idea for something, you also have to have the right context for that idea.
Oh God, I put that into the world.
I'll edit that out.
Please do, because
I'm gonna edit this out before we put it to YouTube, everybody. So it may take a little bit, but I'm gonna edit that part out. It's not this part. This part explaining what I edited out is still going to be in the video. I'm just going to edit out what she said. So,
because I don't want to speak that into existence.
It's just going to shift all of a sudden. It's just going to be like, it's just like it, and here we are explaining it.
Yep. Because I just feel like there are certain people that they have their hang on what they want to do with cinema, but they would take a genre like that and ruin it. And I feel like there are a lot of people who are starting to realize, especially since, you know, love is popular. Love is hard for an otaku's popular. You've got a lot of these animes that talk about being pulled into a game world. I'm currently working on my own series of that as well. I feel like there are people that are starting to see how popular gaming is, even though it's been around forever, that are going to take that outsider take and just make a mockery of what we do. And I want to see less of that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because it's not right to take and be like, hey, we're going to make money off this, but we're not going to actually portray it correctly.
Yeah, and we don't care because we look down on these people. And you might look down on us, but as that data leak showed, people are making bank doing this stuff. So maybe put some respect on our names.
Yeah, and the thing that I got to comment on that, because I agree with Charlie on that. The fact that, like, some people got mad at these streamers for making money doing what they do.
Stop it.
It's like, you don't have any right to get mad. They never, like, I don't know, I can't speak.
Nobody's putting a gun to your head and saying subscribe. The people subscribe because they enjoy what they're watching. If they don't, they have the option not to.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. We are in a weird place in society where you're okay if you look like you're struggling, but God forbid you make money and have
God
a decent
forbid
life.
You should be successful at it, and like you get some of these streamers that their streams are always full.
Yeah.
You have Moist Critical's Charlie stream. His stream is almost always full. There was a streamer I follow that I don't get into their stream as often. I can't remember.
DGR's another good one.
DGR's another good one. I was like, these folks do hard work.
And they're entertaining.
You may not look at it as like it's hard work, and you think, well, anybody can do that. No, you can't.
No.
It's very hard to be entertaining, and you have to have the right mindset before you get on there. I almost didn't stream earlier this week because I got upset about something that I didn't want to come through on my stream. Yeah. So I had to take like an extra half hour to calm myself down, because if I'm in a bad mood, that's going to put my chat in a bad mood. They're going to pick up on that.
And it's not just game streaming. There are people that do arts and crafts, people like me who do social commentary. There are musicians. Streaming is slowly becoming the biggest form of entertainment, and it's not stopping.
You're an entertainer at that point. And it's like, you guys don't balk at like Chris Evans for the money he makes. But you
might, but who cares?
But you balk at the streamer that you watch that plays Mario Maker or something because he happens to make money off that.
Because people look down on us gamers. They always think that we're supposed to be broke and struggling, and that's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair to the people who aspire to do this, and it's always hard because a lot of people think that it's instant, and it's not. It takes years. Mm-hmm. Everybody who is currently making bank on Twitch started from nothing, and they built it up, and they had days where they had nobody in their stream, and they had days where they had an exploded stream. You have to crawl before you walk. And a lot of people just think it's like an instant thing, and it's not. Mm-hmm. Any kind of popularity, whether you're popular on social media, whether you're popular on these things, take time. And it takes a lot of dedication to it. And it just makes me sad that, these people are making too much money. I lost respect for them. They're doing what they love.
They're doing what they love. Why does your respect immediately fall off when you find out that they're successful at what they're doing?
Yeah.
They're successful. You enjoy it. So why is it wrong for them to be able to pay their bills?
Stop drinking the haterade and just stop. But it's a product of our society. We have raised ourselves into believing that everything's a competition, and that if we can't do something, we have to hate the people that do, instead of finding something we like to do and enjoying that.
And if you're going to stream, fine, but don't try to copy what somebody else does.
Yeah.
Do something you enjoy. If you enjoy it, your chat will enjoy it. Everyone will enjoy it. You'll be happy. They'll be happy. It'll work. If you're going to try to shoehorn yourself into what somebody else does because you see they're successful at it, you're going to be miserable. You're not going to have fun with it, and your chat's going to pick up on that. You're not going to have anybody in there.
And I tell people all the time, I don't change anything about myself. Yeah. I've had that attitude since high school. I'm going to bring me. You will attract those who want to be around you. If you try,
people I attract, because if I be me, I'm crazy.
Oh, you stop. You have a great chat, though. For real. I just feel like a lot of people go, well, what do you do? Especially in regards to like my Twitter and stuff. I'm me. Yeah. I don't put on a fake act. I don't put on a fake face. I'm open about my life. I'm open about mental health. I'm open about everything.
I think that's something that a lot of people haven't still gotten. It's like the high school rules.
Yeah.
It's like, if you can learn in high school just to be yourself, you'll gravitate toward people that are like you because they don't want to be a part of the in crowd or whatever. And streaming is kind of the same way. If you're just yourself, you'll find your audience.
Now, I will say, because I have to add that caveat for me for high school. I had a big portion of myself. I had the 2 10s there. The studio student there, and then the anime, manga, sci-fi geek at home. I like me now, as an adult, that knows I don't have to hide that. I don't care if people like my hobbies or my habits anymore.
Yeah.
And I wish I had this attitude a bit more in high school.
Same. I wish I would have had the attitude of I don't care now than I did when I actually was in high school, because I had a lot of bullying when I was in school, and it wasn't like physical. People weren't beating me up or anything like that, but it was just that I'm gonna say emotional stuff where it was just constant. You go into one class and you're taunted and you're made to feel like there's something wrong with you, and it was just an emotional thing that was just, after a while, I just couldn't handle it. And I really wish I could have taken my I don't give a hoot now and put it back then, because I would have been a lot better at handling the situation than what I was.
Yeah, and see, for me, I had a lot of I don't really want friends attitude, and for some stupid reason, people wanted to be my friend because of that.
Yeah.
It was like it had the opposite effect, and I also had to deal with a lot of being the only black kid in my classes. A lot of people wanted to have that friend. And I realize that now as I'm an adult, especially after a few years of Facebook before I stopped using that, seeing a lot of those old friends, seeing a lot of racist stuff, I realized that we weren't really as close friends as I thought we were in high school. So
I didn't have bullies in high school, so I used to headbutt lockers.
Nice.
I didn't want to hurt the locker.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot going on up here, but that's a hard skull.
See, I had that far away, like, people thought I was trying to be cool. I just didn't want people bothering me.
That's the thing. I just didn't want to be bothered by people, and I didn't really want a lot of friends. I just wanted to hang out with the friends I did have. But I mostly just wanted to go to class, learn my lesson, and then go home. I was like, I just wanted to go and get the job done, get the stuff done so I can get out of here and get back to what I like doing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I did not get the chance to do that.
Yeah. And see, now that we're older, we can be unapologetically geeky, and a lot of us are out there, and it's free.
And I know how to sweep the leg now, so bust that kneecap.
You're so crazy.
Curb stomp.
But yeah, it's a really good time to be geeky and in the game. I'm like I said. This is a side of you that I don't disapprove of, but you get mad at me when I start talking about violence. So
because I talk about violence, you will talk and carry out violence.
I haven't had a good fight in almost 20 years.
And I'm worried that it's building up.
We stay inside, so we're safe. I'm not going to hit anybody in this house. You know, I feel sorry for the first person that tries
to come into this house is going to get kicked off those front steps.
Mm-hmm. This is why we don't go into places, though, because there's just been too many of those let me talk to your manager type videos out there, and I'm just not. I feel sorry for a person that does that to me.
I don't understand how.
Because that's a F around to find out moment for real, y'all. Yeah. I am not rap tight.
I don't understand. I don't understand people's social behavior anymore. It used to be when you went into a store, you kept your stuff to yourself. You just go in, do what you got to do, and try to be as polite as possible.
Exactly, Solomon. You fooled somebody.
Had my business. And that's the thing. I've had people, like, legit come into where I was working, yell at you red in the face like they're 5, and see nothing wrong with it. I was just like, didn't your parents ever whip you for doing that when you were a kid? Why would you come into a place of business and think yelling is going to get you what you want? Not only do I not appreciate this, I am actively going to do the opposite of what you want me to do.
I worked at a grocery chain back in the 90s, and I think the worst incident I had was this supposedly rich woman got in my line, yelled at me because her fruit didn't ring up the way she wanted, and then said, "You must be a foreigner." And I was offended on the level of, even if I was, I don't deserve to be treated like crap.
Yeah.
I said, listen to my accent. I am from New York. I'm probably more American than you are. Right. And you are not going to talk down to me. And I can clock out right now and then take you outside. And they pulled me off the line. And I got talking to about threatening customers. I didn't lose my job.
Solomon, I do give old people a little bit of a leeway with that because...
I don't.
I know. I'm not saying everybody gets a pass on it. I was like, the amount of leeway they get is easily exhausted, but they do get a little bit of a I'm not going to get instantly mad at this person, because I realize, depending on the age of the person, a lot of stuff probably hurts on them, and if you're hurt and stuff doesn't feel good, you're liable to be in a little bit more surly behavior. But that is like that much of a buffer. Like, it is not a big buffer.
But there have been people out there yelling at somebody for wearing masks, acting like fools in stores, bringing weird-ass protests and propaganda, women who just look to pick on people of color right now, and black people especially. I have no desire to be in a retail store at all anymore.
That's not anywhere by any means a normal thing. I was like, just depending on the situation, I gauge it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I had an old dude tell me he was going to call the country executive on me, and I was like... Tell his ass I want a raise.
Yeah, it's like, you can call my manager, man. I don't make enough for me to care. Like, honestly.
I actually looked forward to, I want to talk to the manager. It's like, great, because they get to deal with you now and I don't have to.
Yep,
because
there you go.
I didn't do anything wrong. You're the asshole.
Escalation. I loved escalation. I was like, yep, you're out of my hair now.
And I would wait for it too. There were some times where it was just like, please call.
Just start with that.
Come on, start with that. I want to speak to the manager. I loved it when it started that way.
Yeah.
It was like, and I would ask the normal question they tell you, well, is there anything I can help you with? And I was like, please say no.
Please say no.
Please be to the level of mad that you just want a manager, because I don't have to deal with this.
Yep.
I can go wait on that person over there that wants a video game, and I can get the keys and get them out of here, and you can stand here and talk to somebody who's just going to be like, okay, well, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Have a great day. Bye.
Yep. Because for real, I told Axiom, and I'm dead serious, even pandemic aside and stuff, even writing aside and stuff, I would physically be in jail if I went back to retail, because it took me years ago, all the energy I had not to punch a customer. I do not have that restraint anymore.
Yeah.
I would probably fight somebody at this point.
Yeah, I really don't want to have to, because my tolerance for...
I took phone calls and I was like, I had to put a person on hold once because I literally wanted to reach through the phone and strangle them.
Yeah.
Because just the level of entitlement some people have, where they think they're talking down to somebody who's just a low-wage dummy.
Yeah, and the problem that I see a lot of people have with is, like, they get that phone call, and I will tell people, is like, listen, I am frustrated. I'm going to say things. I'm not directing this at you. I am mad about the situation. I am not mad at you. Unfortunately, you're who I get to talk to. So, that being said, and then I let them know what I'm upset about, and they are usually very understanding. They don't take it personally at that point.
Yeah.
But it's like when you get on there and you start yelling and ranting and raving at somebody that is just trying to do their job. My job is to pick up and see if I can help you. It doesn't help them.
Yeah.
They could be having a horrible day, and you're making it worse by dumping all your stuff on them. I was like, just take a moment, take a breath, calm yourself down, and talk to them like how you would like to be talked to.
Exactly. Act like y'all were raised right. That's what I got to say to that.
And I don't
Some of you leave the house like you have no home training, and then you bring that to people who are already struggling, even before the pandemic. They are struggling to take care of their own homes, to bring a smile, because we're told you have to have a smile. You have to bring that positivity as somebody's coming at you to yell about a coupon or something not being in stock. You need to give more respect to the people that you have called essential. Yeah. That you complain when there's not enough on the registers or stock in the groceries the way you like them. So give them respect. They are working their asses off to provide a service for you.
The disrespect to the service industry right now, just people that work retail, fast food,
hospital,
restaurant, hospital,
even sanitation,
given to all those people that have been doing this stuff through a pandemic, just trying to keep a living wage going and everything, has just been outrageous. I heard that I can't remember if it was on Twitter or Facebook, one of the things that was said on there, that a lot of people are getting ready to walk out of their jobs.
Yeah, my good friend's fiance is a barista right now because Starbucks has a program where they're helping their baristas through school and everything, so it's a pretty good program.
Yeah.
He's had to deal with people screaming at him. He's had to deal with people spitting on him during a pandemic.
Yeah.
That is not okay. And I don't think it's acceptable for people to treat people like that, whether there was a pandemic or not. But if it was me, if you had come home and like, somebody spit on me, we finding them.
Yeah.
You're not stopping me either. We're going to find them.
There is only one, and I'll share this story before we go, just because this was me at my worst for customer service encounter. I worked at a place, and I'm not going to say what the place is, but you all shop there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working on a picture order, and this lady said that her daughter had just passed, which I felt horrible because you do get that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You do get a lot of people come in and you're like, hey, can I help you? I was like, no, I'm just making this because so-and-so has passed, or I just lost this person. Or
I got the picture of my grandmother on my desk that we blew up for a memorial.
Yeah, exactly. So I understood what was going on. that does not change the rules that I have to work my job by.
Yeah.
And one of the photos she wanted was a copyrighted photo. You can tell after a while of working with people's pictures and working in a photo lab, I can just look at a photo and tell you if she just took a picture on her cell phone or if I took a picture and I am a professional photographer.
Yeah.
There's a look. It happens. You just develop it. Okay? I don't need to have proof of it.
Yeah. It's like this photo. We took this at home on a regular camera.
Yeah.
Blowing something like this up won't get you in trouble because we're the ones who did it. It's a home picture.
If Kal took the photo, this is her photo.
Yep.
And the way that a lot of the photo places, the way the rules work, and we will tell you, we agree, it's not a fair rule. But the way that the ruling goes, so that it protects the photographer, is whoever took the picture is the author of that photo. They are the ones that own that image. Whether it's a picture of you or somebody else, it doesn't matter. They own the rights to that photo.
Yeah, it's like all the lifestyle pictures I have of Kiddo.
Right.
While I have copies of them,
Lifestyle
it still owns those originals.
And there, if you look, and I guarantee, if you go in and you look, if anybody has a lifestyle CD or photo anywhere,
I'm looking at one right there for Kiddo's school.
There's a paragraph in the fine print that will say that they have the rights to use this photo without your consent for any reason they want, be it at advertising, be it to place products. They can use that likeness because they own it.
Yep.
So this lady come in with a picture, and I think it was a school photo of her daughter and stuff like that, and it was in a collage. And I said, ma'am, I was like, I can let you have the other photos. I can't let you have this one. And I apologize for it, but it's a copyrighted photo. I would need a release from the people that took the photo. And she went off on me. Mm-hmm. And I get it. She was having a very, very bad day. But she started yelling at me about the photo and stuff like that. And then I thought she left because I clocked out. Once you start yelling at me, I'm not even there. I'm on autopilot. I go right into
Detached.
My normal diplomatic answers and stuff like that because there's no point in getting emotionally tied into it. But she didn't leave. She went to use the restroom. She came back on the way out because the restrooms were right near the photo lab. She come right back out and she goes, if I bring her ashes in, can we take the shredded photo and put that in with the ashes for her so then I can have it that way? And then she just walked out. The rage that built up inside of me, I am not proud of, but I was just like, if she comes back in here with an urn of ashes, I am upending that urn on the floor. I don't care at this point. There is no reason to escalate to that level of...
And I know funerals are an emotionally intense time. The last funeral that I had to basically plan and run with my sibling for my grandmother, I'm done. I can't do that no more. Just put my ashes wherever. I don't want to go through all that.
Yeah, and it's like I said, I understood because, yeah, you're going to a funeral. She was on her way to the funeral and she wanted the photo for that. I understand that, but I was like, I know you're in an emotionally raw point, but I was like, you waited until you were on your way to the place to get this photo. That's something that is essential for the funeral. You have apparently, according to her, you have geared this whole funeral around this photo, and you waited until the last minute to do it.
I don't get it. We had a slideshow and everything developed, but that was the thing. I feel like just from planning a funeral, I know that it's hard for people. But I also know that people can't lose their jobs behind your grief.
Yeah.
And if somebody is politely telling you that they cannot do this, it's not an affront to you, they're not trying to insult you or insult your child's memory, they can't do it. And some people, they're just so entitled, they're not used to being told no.
Like I said, I understand the situation she was in, but it was just like, just because you're having a bad day doesn't give you the right to go in and kick people.
Yeah.
Because what if I'd have been having a bad day? What if I was in the same boat she was in, only I don't get to take it out on the retail associate? Just be good people.
Yeah.
Take a moment and try to think about somebody else for a change.
A lot of people don't. Empathy is in short supply right now, and it's sad.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That'll be the situation, and then the person that is just being, like, kicked and beaten down will act out against what's been happening to him, and that's what'll get the attention. Not the lack of empathy, not the lack of
that's why I said
caring about that person. That person's retaliation against that is what will get the coverage, and then that person will be, well, that person was a gamer and they play violent video games, well, that's why they acted out. Yeah. It's like, no, you can only kick a dog so many times before that dog turns around and bites you.
Yeah.
And you should not be kicking dogs.
But on top of that, we're in a situation now where people are starting to see this is not worth it. Mm-hmm. You know, it's already hard enough to go into a 9-to-5 where you're guaranteed you're going to have at least one person yell at you for something that ain't your fault, disrespect you for something or because they're having a bad day, or deal with somebody who is so stupid that it makes your mind want to just leave.
Yeah.
But now you're risking getting this sickness on top of that. It's not worth it.
And I think that's the thing that COVID has actually done. It's shown just how little other humans care about other humans.
Yeah.
We have a way to protect yourselves against it. You have masks that you can wear. You have a vaccine you can get. I was like, I get it. If you don't want to get the shot because it's your right, I don't have to have stuff put in my body, wear a mask. We're not saying don't do this just because you should, and you should. But do something to help protect your fellow man on this.
Or protect yourself. Where is the self-preservation?
They don't care about themselves.
I'm a gamer, and I know, there's no infinite lives, or even if there was, I'm not trying to die stupidly. Some of you are playing the game of life like noobs. Like real noobs. You don't want to defend yourself. You don't want to protect yourselves. You want to give yourself a weapon, but not know how to freaking really responsibly own or utilize that. Be smarter.
Yeah.
We have the ability to be smarter, and a lot of you are squandering that. Level up those brains of yours. Be safe. I got full self-preservation. Yeah. This has been a boon for people like me who are already introverts and didn't really want to deal with society in the first place. But for those of you complaining that you want to get back to gatherings, you want to have all your extroverted stuff, do the bare minimum for your own safety, and you'll get those days back.
Yeah. The fact that we should have been out of this by now.
Yeah.
With everything that's going on, and like with the vaccine, with everything, we should have been. COVID should have been a memory at this point.
Even if it wasn't a memory, it should be a lot less worse than it is, and it's not.
Yeah, but we got to drag a cart full of people kicking and screaming into not killing themselves, or the 3 people that's sitting next to them.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, y'all, the geek rant aside, seriously speaking, have some self-preservation.
And be kind.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know if there's a class that can teach that, to have some sympathy. You don't know what that other person is going through. And
you would not take it if people were that mean or rude to you.
Yeah.
You would lose your shit.
Yeah,
you don't even like people looking at you funny. So I can't even imagine the vapors you would get if somebody treated you the way you treat everybody else around you.
That's the thing that really kills me is those people hate when people treat them like that, but they can treat everybody else like that.
Exactly.
It's like, follow that golden rule. Treat other people how you want to be treated.
Yep.
It's simple. If everybody did that, the world would be either a lot better place or there'd be a lot less people in it because you killed each other off at that point.
Exactly.
But we're going to wrap it up here. We went a little bit longer than what we did, what we were planning to, just because we got on a rant, which tends to happen with us.
Yeah.
But
it was fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Did you guys have fun?
We hope you did.
You have to speak up. I can't hear you.
Oh, you stopped here.
A little louder.
Thank you, Solomon. Thank you, Zooey. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We really appreciate you.
How dare you say such things?
Oh, my goodness, dear.
I can't believe it.